Hey guys, my name is Michael Blank. I'm really excited here. Today we're going to talk about raising money, or a little bit of a series of raising money for apartment buildings, investing. It's the most exciting way to get into multifamily. And one of the questions I get a lot is, man, how do I find these investors? And it's also related to, hey, you know what? I don't really know anyone with money. How in the world am I going to find these investors? Where do I go? Where do I find? So the short answer is you got to start with what you have right now. And what you have right now is a sphere of influence right around you. Okay, these are friends, family. So my best advice is go sit down with a piece of paper and create this mind map. So create these bubbles of all the social groups you're part of, your neighbors, your coworkers, friends, Boy Scouts, church, synagogues, sports, anything you can think of. Write all these bubbles down. And then underneath these bubbles, write down all the people that you know in each of those groups. And you'll be surprised that you'll come up with like 50, 75 names pretty easily. So that's your starting point. Focus on those. And then what you want to do is get the idea of raising money out of your head. What you're really doing is you're building relationships intentionally. So when you go to your next, let's say, Boy Scout meeting, instead of shooting the breeze, talking about sports, the weather, and politics, okay, talk about and share about your enthusiasm of raising money. Say, Sam, you're not going to believe stuff. I'm getting into apartment buildings. Really cool. I just went to Richmond to tour a property. I have investors and they're giving a 10 to 15% return, $100,000 minimum. Really excited. Do you know anyone who might be interested in talking with me? And what you're doing now is you're not asking them directly, because what you don't want is you don't want to know. In other words, you don't want them to tell you no. You want them to say yes. And so oftentimes people like that will go, well, I would be interested, right? Because everybody's looking for a way to invest money. Or they might say, well, my boss is interested, or my brother-in-law is interested, or something like that. So in other words, you want to get referrals from people, and really you're really building relationships with people. And it really depends on where you are in a relationship with someone. So if you're at work, for example, and your boss knows that you already have a couple of rental properties, and you come and talk to him about multifamily investing, it's not a tire stretch. But on the other hand, if you've never talked to that person about, if no one knows you at work in a real estate context, you can't walk in there and go, oh my gosh, apartment building is a great thing, who's interested in investing? It's not going to work. So you have to slowly be intentional about building up the relationship to the point where people are receptive to. And so really what you want is you want to get a series of yeses from people. So the idea then is you create this mind map, you reach out to those people, you track them in a spreadsheet, and you become more intentional in the way that you communicate with people. You want to be relaxed about it, and what you're doing is you're sharing your enthusiasm. And if someone then shows interest, they might be interested in a meeting with you, right? And then we talk a lot about the sample deal package, where you create a sample that's an investor package from a real live deal, real photos, real financials, but you don't have it on a contract. But you use it as a conversation piece then to talk with the investor. And the investor then gets to talk about, ask you all the big questions. Why multifamily? Why you? What about your team? What are the risks? What are the returns? And you get all that stuff out of the way. And then at the end, when they're comfortable with that, they give you a verbal commitment. Yes, if you find me a deal that looks a lot like this, I'm in for $50,000. And that's kind of the process, and you stay in touch with them. So when you get a real deal, they've already seen this package, and they might ask you specifics about this deal, but they're not going to go asking you about the big ones. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. So that's the kind of the process. And so you use your sphere of influence to find your investors. You get referrals from them to others. And then once you've exhausted that, at that point you're probably at 50, 75 people. Now you go into that third layer, right? So your sphere of influence, people know. First layer, second is referrals, and then the third layer is people you don't know yet that you weren't referred to. And the way you get to those kind of people is through networking events. So you go to meetups, you go to a local RIA meeting, you go to Chamber of Commerce meeting, any kind of networking event that you're exposed to potential investors, that's where you want to go to. And then layer 4 is really what you're doing is you're creating a brand. And this is very advanced stuff. This is if you've already raised several $100,000, but the people who want to raise millions of dollars are really creating a brand. They're creating a website, they have an email list, they have a newsletter, they might even have a podcast or written a book. So longer term, to attract more and more leads, you're actually really building a brand. But if you approach it like that from the beginning, you're approaching it the right way, because it's really all about you, your team, your character, and what you're about. So that's it in a nutshell, guys. That's how you find investors, really from the very beginning to scaling it very large. So hopefully you found that useful. Let me hear from the comments, you guys. If you found that useful, I'll keep doing these videos. If not, maybe I might just stop. So anyway, Michael Blank here. Go to the michaelblank.com for more information. That's Michael, BLANK.com. There's also a free ebook that I think you might find really useful. It's called The Secret to Raising Money to Buy Your First Apartment Building Deal. That's themichaelblank.com/ebook as well. All right, guys, appreciate it. Catch you next time. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. Now, as the next step, download this ebook right here, okay? When you've downloaded that, make sure you also subscribe to my YouTube channel, because then you can get all of the videos that I release as soon as I release. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel right now. Click on that right now. And then also make sure that this is the next best video to watch is this one right here. So hope you enjoyed that. I'll catch you next time.